Hi, good evening. We're going to call the regular session to order, 7 o'clock. We'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Henry, can you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next item is approval of the agenda. Dr. Ritchie, any changes?
No changes.
No changes. All right. With that, I need a motion, please.
I move accept the agenda as written. Or approve it, I'm sorry.
We got a motion to approve the agenda by Member Gattuso, seconded by Member Valadeo, to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. All right, members of the public that would like to have an item placed on a future agenda may do so by contacting the superintendent at least 2 weeks prior to a regularly scheduled board meeting. If that item is within our purview, we'll consider it for a future agenda. If there's anybody here tonight that wishes to comment on any item that's on our agenda tonight, you may do so by coming up to the podium when the agenda item is before us. And please, we ask you that you state your name, and you will have 3 minutes to give us your thoughts on the agenda item. And if there are multiple speakers on that agenda item, it's limited to 20 minutes. If there's individuals here tonight that wish to address the board on items that are not on tonight's agenda, you may do so by approaching the podium in a second or two, and you'll have 3 minutes to address the board. If there's multiple speakers on the same non-agenda item, it's limited to 20 minutes. With that, is there anybody here tonight that wishes to address the board on any item that is not on tonight's agenda? All right, seeing no one come forward, we'll start with reports. And we are going to hear from Ileana tonight. Ileana, go ahead.
I'm going to start off with Los Banos High School. Los Banos High School wrapped up the final week of school with a series of activities designed to promote positivity, recognition, and school spirit. Tiger Wishes provided students with an opportunity to have a small wish come true. As ASB fulfills students' requests, such as receiving a favorite snack, including chips, the school also recognized outstanding adults through the North Pole's Finest Award, honoring staff and teachers for their dedication, support, and positive impact on students. In addition, a Dress Up Spirit Week encouraged participation and enhanced school pride throughout the campus. During our last week, the Los Banos High School choir spread seasonal cheer by caroling around the school, bringing a festive and welcoming atmosphere to classrooms and offices. Sports news. Tiger Gym has opened after completion of its new floor and bleachers. We held 2 basketball tournaments and the Morning Star Wrestling Tournament over winter break in both gyms. CC League play begins the next 2 weeks for basketball, soccer, and wrestling. FFA news. Los Banos FFA kicked off December with a festive holiday meeting on December 1st. Members wore Christmas pajamas, enjoyed hot chocolate and cookies, donated toys for the Cops for Kids drive, and enjoyed a surprise visit from Santa Claus. The event celebrated community service and holiday spirit. On December 4th, Los Banos FFA participated in the annual Cops for Kids gift drive, with 80 members volunteering in 2 shifts to donate, wrap, and prepare toys for families in need at the Los Banos Police Department. On December 6th, 44 members represented Los Banos FFA in the Los Banos Christmas Parade, riding a festive float with holiday music and showcasing chapter unity and school pride. Los Banos FFA looks forward to reconnecting with members at their upcoming monthly meeting where officers will share information about upcoming events. Now moving on to Pacheco's. All winter sports have started league game play. Coach and PE teacher Carlos Campos is gearing up for his annual 4-4-4-48 challenge in support of an annual scholarship. If interested in donating, Coach has a Venmo account or donations can be made on the Pacheco High School web store. The 15th annual crab feed dinner has already started ticket sales. If interested, reach out to Charles Pikus or any PHS baseball or softball player. On January 1st, 2026, the Pacheco High School Athletic Boosters hosted the second annual 5K Color Run. It was a big hit for those that attended the event. Did you miss it this year? There is always next year. The Pacheco High School Advanced Choir had the distinguished opportunity to participate in events of the 84th anniversary of Pearl Harbor, December 4th through the 8th. The students traveled to the island where they spent their first days learning about Polynesian and Hawaiian culture at the Polynesian Cultural Center. While there, they visited Pearl Harbor, including a boat trip to the USS Arizona Memorial, and students explored the U.S. Missouri, the Big Mo. On Saturday, the choir performed a concert set at the dock at the U.S. Missouri, presenting music that reflected various aspects of the Battle of Pearl Harbor and World War II. On Sunday, the actual anniversary of the attack, the students participated in the opening ceremonies of the annual Pearl Harbor Memorial. As part of a mass choir, the students performed an arrangement of America the Beautiful for the assembled audience. Throughout the parade, the students demonstrated exceptional school spirit and patriotism, making Pacheco High School proud. On the final day of the trip, students hiked Diamond Head Crater and visited the Honolulu before returning home. Overall, the trip provided students with a meaningful cultural learning experience and the honor of representing their home state, Pacheco High School and Los Banos Unified School District, at the Pearl Harbor Memorial. On Thursday before break, Pacheco High School challenged Los Banos High School in a mug of war competition. Each site advertised for the student population to bring a mug or disposable cup in the morning to start their day with free warm beverage. Both sites had a great time with many students and staff getting involved in the event. Pacheco High School brought home the win with this challenge. Both sites have agreed to do this event in the future and possibly even branching out to other high schools in surrounding areas to bring a unified, positive school culture. Pacheco High School wants to wish everyone the happiest New Year and many blessings for 2026. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, next up is California School Employees Association. Do we have a report tonight? All right, seeing no one come forward, how about Los Banos Teachers Association? I see no one, so it is time for the facilities report. Hey. Ms. Monday.
Good evening, board members, President Pereira, Executive Cabinet, and Dr. Ritchie. I'm here to do my facilities update for January 8th, 2026. So I'm going to start with the Early Education Center. We had our board meeting tour yesterday, which was great. It was exciting to have other people come and see what we've been doing. We can't believe it's actually here, starting school on Monday. It's been a real team effort. Obviously, my team in my office. So I have Cece Raspberry, Kim Avila, Stephen Ruiz in his M&O department, IS for all their help and support, Mel, Anish, and the fiscal AP staff. They've all helped. We've all been a team for this, so I appreciate everybody's help. So we're ready for Monday pretty much. We have some stuff still that needs to be done. We have on Saturday, we'll be doing some cleaning, installing all the snow fence around the landscaping areas. Our temporary traffic control plan was approved by the City of Los Banos city engineer this morning, and we're going to have all that equipment in place by 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. The intersection light poles and equipment have arrived, and they will be installed the next 2 Saturdays, so we don't disrupt the busy traffic, right, for school and work during the week. So they'll be working on the 2 Saturdays to get them up and running and programmed. Landscaping is continuing. We have mitigated the soil issues with amendments and changing the turf that will be planted. The landscape areas are very wet from our recent storms, and we need the sun and wind to dry them up before we can really start planting anything. We usually get a 90-day warranty with any of our landscaping, and if we don't adhere to their recommendations of when we plant those, we'll void that warranty. So we don't really want to do that. So they're continuing to work on that. Our dedication plaque for the school will be here on the 21st. And then we still have some punch list items that need to be addressed, just some small things, and then all of our closeout documents. I will be meeting with Public Works, the city, personnel, fire department, and PD on site tomorrow, so we can address some of their concerns they had about opening on Monday. So we'll work through anything they have there. Next one is Miano Restroom. That the building itself is going to be delivered on January 19th. We expected to have it done this week, but it's too muddy and wet out there for them to bring in that heavy crane. So we're going to do it on the 19th, which is a holiday. And then it'll take 2 days for the building manufacturer to set that building, and then 3 weeks for the site contractor to finish their work. So we hope to take occupancy of that building by February 16th. There are some ADA path of travel items to do by the office door. So we're going to wait until spring break because that is actually going to disrupt the pathway into their office, and we really can't do that during school. So they'll be coming back to finish that work at spring break. Volta modernization. So as we know, we've been waiting for some of these items that the contractor just had a hard time getting due to lead times or their subs not performing for them. So we finally received the exterior doors and the metal door frames. They're installing them this week. The windows were received in the contractor's shop yesterday. So now we're able to close up the building and actually start doing the interior work because we couldn't do any of that until we could close it up. So the exterior of the building has been stuccoed. The scratch coat is done. The brown coat is this week. They have to have a cure time of 7 days, and then the finish coat will be put on. Landscapers are working in the planters around the administration building. Some of that landscape is existing trees. A lot of it is new, and then they'll be doing landscaping in the parking lot as well. The fencing work, they're working on that this week also. I don't know if you recall, but their sub had went bankrupt, and so we had to start our lead time over with the fencing materials. So they're now finally, they're working on that. And then the only thing we kind of have a hold up on is one entrance and exit gate in the new parking lot area. It's still being completed. PG&E had some work to do in that area. They've completed their work, and now our contractor has submitted their materials list to PG&E, and they have to approve it before the contractor can move forward. And PG&E actually has to stand there and watch them do their work, so we also have to get when PG&E can have a person come stand and watch us do our work. So we're working on that. The substantial completion date for that project is 2/27. Because this project has gone on so long, the district is incurring extra costs, whether it be the inspector, whether it be our architect. So this is potentially something we may want to have a sit-down conversation with the contractor to talk about how we write this, because we have incurred extra costs due to their, nothing to do with us. It's all to do with their issues internally. So we will be having that discussion with them. Los Banos High School modernization. The demolition and abatement of the H-wing classrooms is currently occurring. It's all completely contained. No one can go inside of that area. Once the air clearance test has been completed, the other trades will start coming in. And so, like, for example, electrical. All of their electrical was previously like on the surface of the wall, so they're going to do all that electrical work, and then they'll come back with finishes, flooring, ceiling, lighting, but they got to get it air clearance tested first. Our new administration building is expected to arrive in March, so we should see that front flat work area start being demoed and prepared for the new building. And then we've met with people for the locker room remediation from the mold, and it has been decided that the best way to handle that situation is that we are going to include putting that, so they've torn it down, got rid of the mold, and now it's just bare like rafters. So we're going to actually include the scope to put the ceiling back in our project, but that's added scope of work. So we're going to bring a change order to include that work instead of having maintenance go do it. We should be able to get a better price because they're doing other work there. We would have a mobilization cost. Certain things we would be able to save some money. So I don't have the final prices yet on that, but once I do, it'll be over the threshold for me to approve, so I will be having to come and ask for approval for that. So, and that's for the boys and girls locker room. So that we weren't going to, on my project we're doing, we weren't going to start the locker rooms until closer to the summer, but since they're already empty, they can't be occupied right now, we're working with our construction management firm to adjust the original schedule so we can go start working in there now and get those fixed up. And finally, yes, okay, and then the Los Banos Junior High School fire alarm project. So our inspector is been doing pre-testing with the contractor, so buildings A and B are already all pre-tested. They will continue on Monday with pre-testing after hours, once all the devices are in and programmed back to the fire alarm system. There is a change order on tonight's agenda for electrical panel that the electrical engineer missed, that it should be upgraded. This is work that should have been included in the original plan set and bid out by the contractors at bid time. However, because it was not in the plans, they did not bid it, and so that is why that's being brought forward for a change order to include. The architect has taken responsibility and will not be charging us for their design fees and will not include this in the amount when they adjust their final contract amount based on total contract cost. So normally they would take that $120,000 and they would add that in to their total contract cost, then they would charge their fee. They're not going to do that because they understand that was their mistake. So we still have to pay for the equipment and the labor to put that in, but they're not charging us any extra to do that work. So on the architect side, that work will actually extend our project 90 days. And so that would be the end of March is when we would finish with the junior high fire alarm. And that is it.
So a couple things
Yes.
that I have. We have to pay 120, 50,000, whatever it is,
For
because
new
they,
electrical panel.
for the new electrical panel that they forgot to include.
They did not include in the plan, so therefore the contractor did not bid it. And during the work, it was discovered like, hey, this is not going to work unless we change out this panel. And
So does
I've never heard of our agreement does not allow the architect to pay for that, right? It's just their design fees and their error.
doesn't the architect have an error and emissions?
They
insurance?
do, but it just
Insurance
speaks to the design fees that would be in association with that work. Right, so he's going to have to go engineer all of that and do new drawings. They're not charging us for that. But that doesn't help us pay for the panel and and the labor to put the panel in.
So do we have a timeline on when the locker room is going to be completed?
So, as I was
Because I
saying,
keep
we're
hearing-
working with CPM to adjust that schedule, and so until they've had time to do that, I should probably know maybe something next week, because we were not going in there until, I think like May. We were having like a month on this side of the summer and a month on that side. But yeah, we'll be able to get in there sooner. So they're having to shuffle now what they had already planned out. So I feel
keep
bad
hearing-
for them, but I'm like, no, we got to get in there.
I keep hearing that, we can't really run a PE program because we can't get our kids in the locker rooms and changed and
Yeah,
yeah. So
it
I'm
is
sure you're hearing that
difficult.
too.
So
And the other thing is, and I don't know if this is your department or if it's something we have through Dr. Ritchie or whatever, do we have a ribbon cutting date for the TK Center?
I will leave that up to Dr. Ritchie. We do not have a date that I know of.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
We will.
All right. Cool.
We're waiting till you get that done, stop, there's still some stuff in the box. We're waiting till everything's done.
We'll set up a date for it. Cool. All right. Thank you. Anybody have any questions? Yes, Lieb. Wait a minute. I got the wrong button here.
So we currently have a fire alarm system at Los Banos Junior High operating currently right now. Currently. Is that right?
It operates, yes, but it's outdated
Right.
and has lots of issues and faults.
Right. So by law, we're okay with what we have, but then once we get the new system, we'll just switch over to the new system and then we'll.
Right. So right now we're operating on the old system that works somewhat, and once the new one is up and running and programmed, then they will take down the old one and demo all of the devices or anything that had to do with that old system.
Okay. So, but we're okay from a standpoint of following the regulations that the state requires that we have a system in place operating.
Yes.
Now.
So if the system doesn't operate, we're required to do fire watch.
Right. And we're not doing that, right?
We're not having to do fire watch at the moment
Okay.
that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. Very good. And how do you operate, you don't have the answer to part of this question, but how do you operate a PE program without students
Dressing
out? What do they do every day if they don't dress out? They still do PE in their street clothes? How does that work? I'm curious.
Question. So, yes and yes. So they can do it. By state law, students do not have to dress out. We have to still allow them to do it. But the issue we have right now is that several students would prefer to dress out as opposed to go in their street clothes and be stinky all day. And so we're working on contingency plans, and that's something I was going to address with all of you tomorrow on the Friday memo, is that we have, as you see, things morphed a little bit this past week. And so we're working on a contingency plan right now to have a space for students to be able to dress out. We have a couple different plans, and we'll see which one works. And we're also looking at costs associated with it. But we're going to have something in place because we have concerns as well as be able to have students be able to complete the PE standards. As you remember last year, some of our findings from FPM came with the PE, and so especially at the high school. And so we want to make sure we address those, and so we can continue to move forward. And then we have the 9th grade physical fitness test that students have to accomplish at the end of the year. And so it's kind of difficult for a student to be able to go and prepare to run the mile when they're in street clothes. They can do it, but no one wants to get hot and stinky and sweaty all day, especially if it's first period PE. And so those are things that the high school, the Los Banos High School, the PE department, and the administration is working on. They're working with Dr. Sutton, and we're working with Sherry and Cypher to facilitate a plan to be able to provide them what they need.
Okay. Is it?
All right. Anybody else have any questions? All righty. Thank you very much, Sharon.
Thank you.
On to community schools. Dr. Whaler.
Happy New Year, everyone. I got
New Year.
the correct month this time. Sorry, this is the January update. And we are kind of going over a little bit of December and January. We had a big event in December. We had the gift giveaway right before we left on holiday, well, the day after, so the Saturday after the last day of school. And we also have been running this week the junior high school winter camp. So I have some pictures for both of those. So here's this is from the event, the gift giveaway event. See if it'll, there we go. So you can see we had both Santa and the Grinch there to take pictures. We had a clothing closet giveaway. We had food there for the day, as well as, and this was all free to the families who came. We gave away about 1,200 gifts, and also gave away food bags, as well as lunch. And then there were services there. You saw some of our vendors from Camarena Health and EECU, as well as labor unions from the Central Valley. And there were also flu shots being given away. That all you needed to do was sign up and you had a free flu shot, and then they gave a gift certificate for doing that. So all of that was at the event, and we had a lot of fun. A lot of game playing, and as you saw, some of the people holding gifts and bikes, we did raffles as well. So, and then the clothing closet was a huge success, and we're hoping to develop that more as we move forward, having that more organized, as we hopefully are able to maximize our space to be able to do that. And then the junior high school winter camp has been going on this week, and tomorrow's the last day. We've been at both Merced College and at Pacheco High School with Nexplore. So Merced College had plant science, STEM, and welding, and I can't even begin to tell you how popular welding has been. And I have never seen middle school boys so focused and just interested in what they were doing. It was amazing. And then plant science was a lot of fun. So the college professors are the ones teaching this course. So that's been fantastic. And then Nexplore is a program that we've brought in and have been working at San Luis with, as well as now us. And they brought in drones, biomed, agri-finance, and coding. And so here are some pictures from those different activities. You can see plant propagation in the middle and down below. And then we have the coding on one side. And then that's just one of the projects from the biomed. They're also going out and digging out bugs. I was a little bit, and looking at them under the microscope and really exploring it and having so much fun with that. So this is a 3D model of a cell that the students created on the first day. And then you can see welding there up in the corner. These are the high school students working on the welding project. And we also have, so for the welding, 7th through 9th grade is in the morning session, and then 10th through 12th in the afternoon. So they're, age appropriate and the skills, etc. And all the instructors have been so pleased. The students have just had so much fun. And we're looking at bringing a lot of these back for the summer. So we're going to be exploring how to bring those and expand them and get more interest and grow the program. And then, we're looking forward to school starting on Monday. The liaisons will be back in school with everyone else. And they are really going to be focusing this year on, of course, the resources for families and the connection to the community, as well as they've been working with the attendance teams at each of their school sites, and they do home visits and make phone calls around attendance to support our goal, with the positive school attendance. So that's something that they're going to be expanding on and working on more, and I'll be able to bring more of that back as we meet again in the future. So any questions?
All right. I think that Valadeo was first.
But what was the attendance to your workshops? Besides welding was big, how were the other ones?
Some of them were a little smaller, like the plant propagation. I think they had about 8 or 9 in the morning. We had a total of 70 students signed up across AM and PM. Not all of them came, but we did work to make contact with home and find out what we could do, and I think one of the things that we were reflecting on is making sure that we advertise thoroughly enough. And so that's, probably part of it, but we still had quite a few students coming out for all of those, but not quite the 70 that we had signed up.
Who was Lieber? Was it okay? Was it?
Oh,
I can't tell who's next here.
it was me.
All right, Ms. Gattuso.
Okay. I just wanted to say that I just think your team and you are doing a great job with the community schools. You've got this task of flying the plane as you're building it, and it's just been great to watch all the programs that you brought to our community, the interaction with all the families and the support that you guys have all been giving them. And so I just kudos to you guys.
Thank you so much. They are a wonderful team, and I have to say also, we've had so much support from all the other departments, from migrant, to nutrition team has been tremendously. By the way, the nutrition team fed our students this week as well. So that was another thing. They provided snacks and lunch for all of our students as well. And so that's also a team effort, to be able to make this all happen. So it's been wonderful being a part of that.
Good. All right. Any other comments or questions? Dr. Woodard, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have our attendance report.
Good evening. You have the attendance report in front of you. Do you have any questions?
Any questions?
Attendance wasn't really great this last.
No, month of December, we have quite a few students that leave early, check out early. I know we got 3 weeks of school, but some families, they take a little bit longer. Yeah.
Crossroads had a good time, good month.
Just a couple of schools.
Yeah. All right, any other questions or comments? Mr. Moraz, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Ritchie.
So, as has been previously noted, we had the semester end, went on break. It's been a nice little break for everyone. I'm excited to have kids come back to school next week and get back going with teaching and learning. But there's a few things I'd like to highlight. We've already addressed, the community schools already shared, the workshops they provided, and it's been tremendous, the student attendance, and the more we continue to have these activities and these workshops, the more students are going to be involved. It's been a great experience. You already heard from our student board member rep about the Pacheco High School Choir that participated in the Pearl Harbor Memorial Service in Hawaii last month, and what a great job they did, and the experiences that they had were tremendous. The feedback we've gotten from the students is just they're so grateful for the opportunity that they had to go and participate in an event like that. It's something that they'll remember the rest of their lives. West Side, I'd like to just give kudos out to West Side Elementary for being selected as the U.S. News and World Report Best Elementary School. There's only a few schools that receive the opportunity to advertise themselves as an award-winning best school, and those that considered the top 40% in their state are given that opportunity to use the Best Schools Award. And so Westside is the #1 school in our district and in the top 5 in our county, and they are considered in the top 40% in the state. So they've been recognized by a national publication, joining Pacheco High School, who was recognized in the fall as one of the best high schools in the nation, actually. So the high schools is the top 40% of high schools in the nation. Also, over the last several days, we had over 100 teachers and administrators participate in science training with the new science curriculum, as well as establishing and developing our science essential standards for elementary, so they have a focus in every grade level on what exactly the main standards they're going to focus on. And as I said, having over 100 teachers participating during winter break is massive. That's half of our elementary staff, basically, who chose to come in during a vacation. And granted, we're paying them, but still at the same time, vacation's precious. And so they chose to come in and to do that work, and it is hard work. And so I'd like to give a shout out to Mr. Sowersby and the principals for facilitating that work and just the work that they've been doing. And as I said, we're excited to get back into schools next week. We have so many things we've got to work on, as we've already discussed this evening, with the new early education center starting on Monday, the locker room things going on, as well as some other things. But we're excited to have kids back, and that's my report.
All right, thank you. Next up is board member reports. Let's start with Mr. Deeb.
Oh, okay. So I had the opportunity to meet with Merced College welding teachers Fong and Chris, and they led the community schools welding program out there on G Street. It was there were 20 students in the morning session and 2 high school students, and the first day they just spent time reading and getting an overview of welding, and then the next day they just started welding. And so I went out there and I was impressed with what they were doing with such a short amount of knowledge. And they made pencil holders and flower pots and hammers, and so I'm very happy that that program is there. Underwater welders make $300 an hour. So yeah, there's opportunity there, and it's nice that during a week of winter break, we have students that want to be part of this learning process. So I'm hoping we can build on that for future years. I accepted the invitation from Pacheco High government teacher Jeffrey Delacruz to go to his government class and watch the process of electing a president of the United States. His students were very passionate about their candidates, and kudos to Mr. Delacruz for what he does, what he's doing in his class. And it's not just that class, not just that subject matter, but he's a teacher that my children had him as a teacher. They're adults now, and they still talk about what he did in the classroom. So he's definitely making an impact on a lot of these students' lives. I visited Grasslands and Volta elementary schools the last day of school prior to winter break, and I got to see Santa arriving at Volta on a Merced County CAL FIRE fire truck, and I was very impressed with how the staff created a backdrop with a projected light system and Christmas tree, and the principal, Matthew Thomas, took photos himself. He took photos of every student in this backdrop area and gave the parents their own photo for every student. And then I found out from him that he has a background. He's a former drama teacher, so it explains why he goes the extra mile and explains the snow that was falling on the playground. So yeah, it's definitely something that he enjoys doing every year. Congratulations to Los Banos High School ag teacher Stuart McCullough, winning the 2025 Senior World Champion Duck Calling Contest in Arkansas. Put Los Banos on the map in Arkansas. I did attend the Morning Star Wrestling Tournament on December 20th. There were 40 high schools here at Los Banos High competing, and on the same day at Pacheco High, there was the 14th annual Clash Before Christmas Wrestling Tournament. So we had junior high and girls competing at junior varsity and girls competing at Pacheco High. We had boys and girls competing at Los Banos High. So we definitely were a place to be for high school wrestling on that day. I also attended the Pacheco High second annual New Year's color run. Coach Carlos Campos had about 90 people running out there. Some were walking. Our very own Jessica Moran was walking, and they were throwing powder on everyone and having a great time. It was a good fundraiser, and they're hoping to build that every year. So at 9 o'clock in the morning on New Year's morning, so, if you party all night long. So, but I had no problem being there, so that was fine. And 4x4x48 scholarship run is coming up. So for those who like to run, Coach Campos will definitely take you. You can run with him on that event that he does. And lastly, I did tour the TK Center yesterday morning, and the larger size campus from what we currently have now will serve our district well as we watch and plan for the growth that we're going to see in Los Banos over the next 5 years. So, and that's my report. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Castro?
I have no report tonight.
All right. Who's on it? Ms. Smith?
Okay. I also attended Mr. Dela Cruz's political campaign class, and I won't reiterate what Jean said, but I did walk away thinking, if the candidates in the United States behave that way, we have a much better place to be. Be easier to vote. They were great candidates, and the students did a really good job. I also went to visit the TK Center, and I won't reiterate what Jean said again, but I walked away saying, how does Sherry do that? I think what she does is absolutely amazing. She answered every question. She had all the knowledge that we asked her, and then hearing her tonight speaking of her team, I mean, that must be an awesome place to work, and I just don't know, you're female, you got a lot of knowledge, and it's wonderful to see female power work like that. Congratulations. And then if everybody else, welcome back to school next week. I know you all are looking forward to coming back to campus on the 12th, and I am too, because I have been babysitting since they went on vacation. So I'm looking forward to that return too, and enjoy the rest of your year. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Valdale?
Yeah, I think the highlight was visiting the TK Center, and one of our strategic directions is having state-of-the-art facilities, and that campus, it was so well thought out by everyone, because as a kindergarten teacher for 18 years of my career, when I walked into those rooms, they were set up for the greatest education those kids could possibly have. They have state-of-the-art equipment. The kids are going to love it. The teachers that were there working were just smiles and so excited, and they have just wonderful workrooms. So I'm so excited to see a facility, and they even have Promethean boards, which I was very excited to see, all the classrooms. So it was set up the right way. So I'm glad that we have a campus that's ready for our TK and preschool, and I know it's going to be a great place and a great education for our students. So thank you guys for spending the money in Measure X to be able to afford that and have those state-of-the-art facilities.
Thank you. Ms. Cattuso?
So I'll just add a little as well. The TK Center is amazing. And yes, Sherry, you guys have done a great job walking that campus and being able to see the rooms and how, just like Dana said, the state-of-the-art equipment in there for the kids, the hands-on experience that they'll have. It's just going to be a great thing for the kids and great way for them to start their education years with the pre and TK. So that's going to be awesome Monday. And I think we're going to get some help with some of the traffic on Monday as well. Yes, Mr. Ritchie? Or yes. So that's just to ease some people's mind, because the lights won't be up, but we're going to have help with some of the traffic there with the police and everything. So, and Happy New Year. Welcome back to school next week. And that's all I have tonight.
All right. Thank you. And I really have not much to add, except I wish I could be a fly on the wall, because I'm not going to be there in person. But I just want to see how every one of those kids react to it at the TK Center when they see their new classrooms and their new
Little bus
stuff. The little the playground is. We wanted to play on the playground because they got musical instruments and a bunch of really fun stuff, and it's just well thought out. And I know those kids are going to be really excited on Monday morning when they get there. With that, we're going to go ahead and go on. I just turned my mic off by mistake. Excuse me, we're going on to new business, and next up is our audit report. Ms. Marcella.
Good evening, Board. It is recommended that the Board approve the 24-25 audit report, and we have a representative, Jeanette Garcia, to make a presentation for you guys. I also left books on everyone's table. That includes the regular audit and the bond audit.
Welcome, Jenny.
Good evening, everybody. So, as you all know, school districts are required to have an annual financial and compliance audit, and so that's what the larger report is all about. The main purpose as a CPA is to give an opinion on the financial statements. And our opinion is that they are fairly presented in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. But it's also a compliance audit. And because you receive so much federal money, it's also a single audit. So we're testing your compliance with federal laws and regulations as well as state. And we give opinions for all of that in the report. Our opinion, like I said, on financial statements is that they're fairly presented. Federal compliance, you're in compliance with everything that we were required to test. And as far as state compliance, our opinion is that you were in compliance. However, we did have one minor exception. But overall, I'd say it was a very good audit.
And I will say that the Finance Committee met with Ms. Garcia and Ms. Marcella, Dr. Lee, Dr. Ritchie today, and we went over almost every page of these two books. And we had questions, and they were answered, and we were happy with what was told to us. So I think we're very comfortable with the audit.
And so you also have a smaller little audit report, and that is our financial and performance audit on your 2018 general obligation bond. Because that was a Proposition 39 bond, it requires an annual financial and performance audit. So we do pull an expanded sample of bond expenditures to make sure that they were all legitimate and for purposes that were approved by you for that purpose. And we had no exceptions there either.
All right. Any questions, comments? We can pay the bills? All right. With that, I need a motion. We have a motion by Member Smith and a second by Member Lieb to accept the 24-25 audit report.
Thank you.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it's carried unanimously. All right, item B. Ready for Ms. Monday to be up here for the next, 5-6 items? Thank you, Jenny. Safe travels home. She's out there, okay.
Okay, ready? It is, did you want to read out that? No, I just go? Okay, it is recommended that the board approve change order number 1 with TBS Contractors Incorporated for the construction of Los Banos High School interim housing. This is a credit change order for $2,548.78.
We like it when you bring us, bring us money we get back. That's good.
I can try.
Yeah, it's going to get worse as we go along.
Yeah. See, I start with a good one.
All right. Any comments or questions? Motion, please. We got a motion by Member Lieb, seconded by Member Valadeo to approve change order number 1 with TBS Contractors Incorporated for the construction of Los Banos High School interim housing. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It is carried. On to item C, change order number 1 with Collins Electric.
It is recommended that the board approve change order number 1 with Collins Electric for the construction of Los Banos Junior High School fire alarm upgrade project. So this is the one I discussed during my my report.
Comments or questions? Motion, please. We got a motion by Member Gattuso, seconded by Member Castro to approve change order number 1 with Collins Electric for the Los Banos Junior High School fire alarm upgrade project. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it's carried unanimously. On to item D, change order number 8 through 11 with TBS Contractors Incorporated for the construction of Chaco High School CTEG classroom project.
It is recommended that the board approve change orders number 8 through 11 with TBS Contractors Incorporated for the construction of Pacheco High School CTIG classroom project.
Any comments or questions?
So can you just give us...
excuse me, hang on.
Just
Go
give me a synopsis of what this is. Like, can someone drop
So-
on this one again?
So, no. So this is, so if you recall, we discussed a while back how that the greenhouse was purchased years ago.
Right.
And I was told it was a certain size. And then once it actually got opened up, we realized it wasn't the size that we had planned for. So all of this change order work is to get the heater right, the certain cooling walls, there was electrical work, there was extra panels we had to get in there to make it bigger,
to accommodate
the
greenhouse.
larger size.
Okay,
And
so this is just the greenhouse. This isn't the classroom building.
this has nothing to do with the
Okay,
classroom.
All right.
Yeah, I think, let me just make sure.
All I saw was
I believe this is all to do with the, yes, electrical
You're
hookup
right.
for greenhouse, electrical hookup for the second heater for the greenhouse. Oh, I'm sorry. One is for intercom cabling. So,
intercom cabling in the classrooms.
in the classroom. So, it did not, the run was too far for the type of wire they put in, so we had to upgrade to a higher wire because it
So the
wouldn't.
intercom between the one classroom and the greenhouse?
No, the intercom from the classroom all the way back to the gym. Had to go all the way back to the gym, and so that run was too far.
Okay.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
you're welcome.
And I think it's just interesting to note that everybody should be aware of is a greenhouse costs us $993,000, almost $1 million, to put up a greenhouse.
Well,
And-
that's a classroom too.
And the classroom.
Oh, that's classroom.
Yeah, that's and all the site work.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh,
everything.
This is both.
And the
This is both.
bathroom.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I was like, no way.
Well, the way it
Oh,
was,
we didn't need to do that then.
all right, I'm sorry. The way it was
No,
written,
that is the entire project.
that was the entire project, but still,
Yeah. It's
a classroom and a greenhouse. Whew. That's why we need our
nice electric
Seating,
motorized
et cetera.
gate. See, there's lots of good stuff out
yes. We need all that stuff. All right. With that, motion, please.
I'll make a motion.
We got a motion by Member Valadeo, seconded by Member Smith, to approve change orders number 8 through 11 with TBS contractor for the Pacheco High School CTIC classroom project. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it's carried. On item E, Architectural Services Agreement, Amendment number 2 for the Los Menos High School modernization project.
It is recommended that the board approve the Architectural Services Agreement Number 2 from Teeter Architects for the Los Banos High School Modernization Project. So this change order is after all the bids came in and they collected up all the construction costs and they have adjusted their rate. And if you look on the backup for this, you can see because our project went up, their actual fee percentage came down. So we were paying 9%. It's a small discount, but it's 8.76 now. So
All right. Comments or questions? Motion, please. We got a motion by Member Gattuso, seconded by Member Lieb, to approve the Architectural Services Agreement number 2 for the Los Banos High School modernization project. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It is carried. On item F, Architectural Services Agreement, Amendment number 5 for the Volta modernization project.
it is recommended that the board approve the Architectural Services Agreement Number 5 from Teeter Architects for the Volta Elementary Modernization Project. So this is the one in my report. I kind of discussed that our architect has given us an increase in their fees, and that's due to the delay of the project. So this is the one we may potentially go try to seek reimbursement. I'm being real careful what I say right now.
Very well put. All right. Comments, questions? Motion? We got a motion by Member Castro, seconded by Member Valadeo, to approve the Architectural Services Agreement Amendment number 5 for the Volta modernization project. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It is carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, on to item G, Facility Maintenance Planning Service presentation. Dr. Lee.
An FMP representative will provide a presentation for facility maintenance planning service. I have the CEO of FMP, Mr. David Randolph here, providing a presentation for us.
Welcome.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent Ritchie, and members of the public. As Cypher said, my name is David Randolph. I'm the CEO of F&P Connected. The proposal you are considering tonight will provide comprehensive ongoing insight into the condition of your facilities, enabling facilities, maintenance, and your facilities subcommittee to drive the priorities leading to state-of-the-art facilities at Los Banos USD. Let's see. Is that the one? There we go. I want to share what led to the development of our Summit Planner and Project Launcher. Back in 2014, having just modernized their 4 campuses, the Coronado USD board, like this board I'm sure, wanted to know what it would take to keep their school facilities in good condition for their students, teachers, and staff ongoing. What funding do we need for good repair? Oops. Let me advance that. There we go. We did a quick calculation using a military model and arrived at $17 million needed over a 20-year period for their 4 campuses. First problem, school boards can't simply set aside $17 million. You need to know what, where, when, and how much before you can approve a major expenditure. Second problem, if we put together a solid maintenance plan for this year, will it still be good next year? How about 5 years from now? Can we have an always current major maintenance replacement plan? Third problem, if we don't know the when, how do we avoid costly surprises? Can we be proactive with preventative maintenance? The solution is our Summit software and consulting services. We start by developing a detailed inventory of your facility assets. We determine material, quantities, life cycle, and unit cost to replace. We evaluate each asset's condition to be either good, fair, or poor based on standards provided by the district. The key to our program is one-time implementation, then annual reinspection and annual updating of unit costs. The what is solved. Your project prioritization can be proactive and based on safety, equity, sustainability, and age. Your ratings reports will be key to project prioritization. This is where you can see the good repair percentage for each campus, as well as the cost to replace assets in poor condition. Zombies are assets kept in service beyond their expected useful life. Your zombie reports will be key to evaluating how your assets are aging and evaluating the sustainability of various materials. The where is solved. We map all of your spaces. Space mapping started with this proposal, where we have already calculated the roof area of all instructional and administrative buildings on all 14 sites. We can use this information for your roof replacement planning. Here we have Charleston Elementary and Westside Elementary, and one more example, Los Banos High School. For each of these buildings, we will create as currently built space layouts. We then add your unique coding system to identify room function at a glance. The when is solved by tracking components and re-inspecting annually. The chart here shows when the cost hits are likely for each asset type, for each year, now and into the future. The how much is solved. Your base cost data will come from the industry leader, RS Means. We refine these costs with actual district data from recent projects. Back to our original question, what funding is needed to maintain good repair? What funding will Los Banos USD need to maintain state-of-the-art facilities? Our answer is build the district's custom asset inventory, update the inventory as asset replacement work is completed and new buildings are brought online, reevaluate asset condition with annual reinspections and cost updates. Summit makes it possible for the first time to have comprehensive asset detail at your fingertips. This has opened a new pathway for bond work. As you are well aware, all facilities need to undergo periodic major maintenance replacement. We call it deferred maintenance because historically much of this work has had to be put off due to limited resources and limited facility insight. Consequently, a lot of major maintenance work only gets done when a bond is passed. Historically, tackling major maintenance replacement with bond dollars has been challenging because, as you know, traditional bond programs are designed for major projects. The facility condition assessment pulled together at the start of master planning may become dated before the first major project breaks ground, and maintenance departments are challenged to list and prioritize the full extent of deferred maintenance work, let alone estimate its cost. The traditional approach works well for new construction and modernization, but as you may well have witnessed, it is costly and time-consuming. Now, since the Los Baños USD has adopted CUPCA, allowing smaller projects to be bid informally, we can use our always current Summit Planner and Project Launcher to provide a third pathway for bond work. We now have new construction, modernization, and refresh. Bond dollars can now be used to substantially upgrade or refresh portions of your facilities with rapid turnaround projects and minimal soft cost. In wrapping up, let me start by thank you for putting on your agenda moving forward with this proposal for this value-enhancing maintenance platform. I'm impressed with your district and the important role you are playing in educating our next generation in the Los Baños region. On behalf of F&P, we would love to assist Cypher and Sherry and Stephen as they continue to deliver for facilities and students at Los Baños USD and work to meet your objective to have state-of-the-art facilities. Thank you all for your time tonight. I will defer to Cypher if there is any time for questions.
Any questions? Well, let's see. We got Valadeo was first.
So what have we done in the past? Do we just wait till it breaks and then we fix it? What have we been using up until now?
That's kind of weird. Actually, was pretty reactive. Since I started 3 years ago, when things break, we're like, okay, let's fix it. And we also go out if something that's urgent. We had to pay the price to people can fix it. Sure, we have a different maintenance plan in place, but we're just kind of guessing. Those dollars amount. So like a playground, I'm estimating 125,000. Stephen come back to know that's 175,000. That's 50,000 more than you estimated, right? So we don't have the most up-to-date, quotes on those items. So what David doing is here, he had the district, the actual industry standard pricing that we can compare and see if we're going to go out for this project, how much will cost us for each single component. And be able to provide, we have 40 years old HVAC system in maybe Westside or Henry Miller. Then David can tell me, hey, those need to, to be replaced because, they're using too much electricity. They're failing all the time and it's cost district money. So really to prioritize the money, the limited money we have, and to use this money the best. So in the long run, it actually save us because it helps us with the planning.
And then I see the cost. Is that a one-time cost, or is there a every yearly license after that?
It's actually all the way to 2930. Yeah, it's
okay.
a 4. Yeah.
So several years.
It's several years. Yes.
5.
There is a
4 actually now, huh?
Yeah, 4.
There is a one-time implementation cost, and then there is annual licensing cost.
There is annual licensing costs. Okay.
Additional cost for consulting? Additional fees for that?
We wrap our consulting hours into our licensing fee.
All right, Ms. Gattuso.
Cypher, question for you guys and Sherry. Does this help with the required facility plan that the state, is it the state that wants us to have? Will this help with that?
CD wants us to have a deferred maintenance plan, right? Incorporate into the master facility planning in our to tap into the Prop 2 fund. So this would definitely help refining that plan.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
right now we're just kind of estimating, okay, we're
Right.
going to spend $5 million a year on repair our facility, if that's the true cost. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Mr. Lee?
So it's, correct me if I'm wrong, I've read the background material, but it's $350,000 up front, and then an annual, and that's $350 for the first year, and then a fee every year after that?
No, that's actually, the implementation is, what we're proposing is a 6-phase over a roughly 3-year implementation. And so that's the 250, I believe it was, right?
350, I think it was, wasn't it?
Three-
But that, so what I'm asking is, you oversee this facilities of our district every year and give us recommendations as to what is needing to be replaced and how things are going as far as roofs and flooring and all the stuff that I listed here. How many years does that go on for?
As long as you find value in continuing to have our Summit software in place and our reinspection services and our annual unit cost updating.
So as long as we keep paying for it every year, you
Yes,
keep doing it.
that's right.
How long has FMP been in business?
We started back in 2014. That's why I gave that
Coronado,
example at Coronado. Yes.
Are you currently doing any business with any other schools in Merced County?
Not in Merced. We have districts that we're working with in the Bay Area and in Southern California, which is actually where we originated.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you for being here. All right. Next item on the agenda is the contract for this. Dr. Lee.
Please recommend the board approve the proposed agreement with Facility Maintenance Planning, FMP LLC, for facilities maintenance services.
All right. You have the contract for the facilities maintenance planning service agreement in front of you. Any more questions, comments? Do you need a motion?
I'll make a motion. To approve the contract.
All right, we got a motion by member Valadeo, seconded by member Gattuso to approve the facilities maintenance planning service agreement with FMP for facility maintenance services. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously. All right. Thank you very much. On to item I, which are board policies. I have 3 people listed, Dr. Lee, Dr. Sutton, and Dr. Ritchie. Dr. Ritchie is going to do them all? Okay.
It is recommended the board declare its intent to adopt the following. Board Policy 3440, Inventories. Administrative Regulation 6145.2, Athletic Competition. Board Policy 6145.2, Athletic Competition. Board Policy 1000, Concepts and Roles. Board Policy 1114, District Sponsored Social Media. Administrative Regulation 1114, District Sponsored Social Media. Board Policy 4000, Concepts and Roles. Board Policy 5000, Concepts and Roles. Board Policy 6143, Courses of Study. Administrative Regulation 6143, Courses of Study. Board Policy 6146.2, Certificate of Proficiency High School Equivalency. Administrative Regulation 6146.2, Certificate of Proficiency High School Equivalency. Exhibit 6146.2, Exhibit 1, Certificate of Proficiency High School Equivalency. Board Policy 7000, Concepts and Roles. Board Policy 7131, Relations with Local Agencies. And Administrative Regulation 7131, Relations with Local Agencies.
All right. Quite a list. Comments or questions? All right.
My
Ms.
comment,
Gattuso.
it's quick. I don't know how you keep track of, in each board policy, not each one of them, but there's this training for this, there's this training for that. These people have to be notified, or this, I mean, it's like massive amount. So kudos to you guys for keeping that all straight and keeping us, out of trouble.
That was one of my questions and concerns at agenda review with Dr. Ritchie last week. It's like there's a lot of, we must do this, we must do that, and it's new stuff, trainings and parent notifications and staff notifications and student notifications. Yeah, it's pretty intense what's written in there. Ms. Valadeo.
I know I've already talked to Dr. Ritchie about Education Code 2215, and I know personally I have an issue, and I know it's Ed Code, and I know I have to follow it, but the athletic competition and allowing anyone who identifies of a certain sex to play another sport, and I just know as a woman and a girl that I just feel it's so important to let girls have their sport and not have other people interfere. So I just want to speak my mind. I know I can't change it. I know the federal government has stated that we don't have to allow it, but the state of California says we do. So I don't know where the controversy is, because we could lose federal funding. We could lose state funding if we don't follow it. So it's a big controversy, and I know I'm going to adhere, and I have nothing against that, except that I want to keep girls' sports. And I'm just going to give you an example. Today, when I was playing pickleball, I was playing with two men, and I thought I was going to be dead because they're so powerful. And, I just think it's just horrible to think, and I play competitive pickleball and I play in competitions, and if I had to play with someone who says that I identify as a woman and you're playing with me and I have to be scared to play with you, I just think it's a travesty that we even have to deal with this in education, and I wish education didn't have to be part of that. So I just wanted to say my piece, and I know it's mixed in with a lot of other board policy, but that's it.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? Comments, questions? All right. I need a motion and a second. This is just to declare our intent to adopt these. These will come back to us next month for final approval. So this is just the first step in the adoption process. So a motion to declare the intent to adopt, please.
I move we declare intent to adopt the listed board policies.
We got a motion by member Gattuso, seconded by member Smith, to declare our intent to adopt the policies listed in item I, board policy updates, first read. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It's carried unanimously. All right. On to do the consent calendar. Are there any pulls tonight?
I do. I want to pull the lease of office space for the community schools. Do I?
Yeah, let me find it here. Where is it?
I thought I had the page number.
It's item 5? G5. Yeah, item G5. All right. Item G5 is pulled. Any other pulls? All right. Seeing that, we need a motion to accept the consent calendar as listed, with the exception of item G5, which we'll discuss in a second. So a motion to approve the consent calendar with the exception of item G5.
So moved.
Got a motion by member Leave, seconded by member Gattuso, to approve the consent calendar as listed with the exception of item G5. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it is passed unanimously. On to item G5. Ms. Valadeo.
I know I spoke with Anthony about the reasoning, how the TK Center wasn't, the old TK Center wasn't ready. That's where they're going to, because I said, I thought we had decided that. So my only question is not about the lease. It's about, are we going to pay money to fix that place up? And So I was just wondering if there were extra costs besides just the lease and the rent.
No, it's just the lease. One of the things we looked at was that we needed to find something that was a ready-made space, that we didn't want to put anything else into it other than just, we need a space for the community schools, because right now we've got about 13 people working out of a book room on Henry Miller's campus. In addition, trying to find space to be able to provide, to be able to get the food pantry set up and get the clothes closet set up and all the activities that they coordinate out of that. So we thought we were going to be able to move in, and we were just going to make do. We thought we were going to be able to move in sometime this semester, but the delay in moving over to the Early Childhood Education Center, plus, as we all know, when you do construction with schools, you always get to run through the CDE and get approvals, and there's been delays there because they want to do additional inspections and some other things, which has lengthened the timeline out. So rather than sit there and wait for that to get done, we decided that let's go ahead and lease just an office space where we'd be able to house the personnel and be able to house some of these materials for a short-term period of time until we can move into the Family Resource Center once it's put together.
And then I noticed it's funded through
LCAP. The reason for that is because you cannot lease a space using community schools funds.
Well, I do understand that, but I guess I was just nervous that I thought the community school grant was going to fund itself, and now it's going to become, we're going to be investing in it with our budget, and I just get nervous about that, I guess.
Absolutely.
It's like, okay, one more thing, with now we have money coming out of our, general ed fund or our general fund, and now we're paying. Not that it's wondering. I just know it's going to encumber what we're already doing.
I understand, and that's something we took into account when we looked at that. But we looked at it in terms of what we get out of it versus what we're putting into it. This is a worthwhile investment in order to make sure we can help this program to continue to grow, and that once we have the community schools, the Family Resource Center up and going. This lease will be done, and we'll be able to have everything going out of that. So we won't be paying a lease, which is one of the reasons why we decided originally when we were debating between going ahead and going outside and renovating a property versus doing it in something that we own. When we came to the decision that doing something we own made more sense, we decided to go that route. But circumstances change, and so but the thing is, this will not be a long-term solution. This is a short-term solution to a short-term problem.
Okay. What happened? Oh, okay.
So
Mr. Tuso.
I went through the lease, but I can't remember. Is it a month to month?
I
Or
believe
is it a
I believe it's 12 months.
Or is it? It was
And then you have the option of going month to month for 4 months after that.
after that. Okay. I knew I saw it somewhere.
With the timeline that we've been working with the architect, that it looks like we won't be able to get into the old TK Center until perhaps December.
Excuse me. Can you go to the mic and repeat everything you just said? Because yeah, since people at home can't hear you,
Yes. So this is all tentative, what I'm saying right now, because obviously, as you know from what Sherry has brought to you with other projects, things change. The DSA application was submitted in December. However, we were given notification that hundreds of schools districts have put in DSA applications, and that's going to delay quite a bit. The start of that, we had hoped we'd be we'd be able to start with bids in March, but it's looking like it will be later. And so therefore, that pushes back when the renovations could start. We were thinking it would be June, but obviously that'll be pushed back because we have to go through the other process first. And then it'll take about 6 to 7 months to complete, as Sherry has shared in previous meetings, it'll take about 6 to 7 months to complete the renovations, which can be paid for through community schools. So while it is school property, the community schools will be able to invest because it is part of the Family Resource Center. That also is, so that will be, giving back to the district in an amount much greater than what the lease is going to be. And so this is going to be approximately, it'll be a 12-month lease. And then if we need it longer, because as we know, once you open things up, it can take longer. So even though we think it'll be 6 to 7 months for the renovation, it might be longer. And so we would then have the option to renew the lease month to month for up to 4 months according to the lease.
Is it on the corner of?
Yes, it's on the corner of 6th and I in that marble building.
It's the really old Bank of America.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Us old timers know that.
And some of the interesting pieces from the bank are still there. It's very interesting when you go in, but it is completely move-in ready. There's nothing that we will be investing that we won't take with us to the resource center. And as a matter of fact, a great thing that I learned today is there are some things from the old TK Center that we get to inherit. So we won't have to be spending money for furniture or storage or whatnot. We're able to inherit that right away. So there is a lot of work behind the scenes to save as much money as possible, because we do understand that we don't take that lightly or for granted.
Thank you.
All right. Other questions? Thank you for that. All right. I need a motion then, if there's no more comments or questions on this item. I need a motion for item G5 from the consent calendar, the agreement with the California Association of Realtors, Family Resource Center, Office Space Community Schools.
So
Second.
We got a motion by Member Gattuso, seconded by Member Valadeo, to approve the agreement with the California Association of Realtors in the district. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It is carried unanimously. All right. On to reporting out of closed session actions. We had 3 action items. The first one was student discipline cases. Expulsion case number 5514348 is expelled for the remainder of the school year. Student is expected to contact Educational Services for readmission following the period of expulsion for review of attendance, credits, and/or grades, behavior, and recommended counseling. All students are referred to Valley Community School. Motion by Smith, seconded by Valadeo. 6 yeses, no nos, no abstentions, and 1 absence. Moran. Expulsion case numbers 5516995, 5512270, 5512216, and 5518395 are expelled for the remainder of the school year. Students are to contact Educational Services for readmission following the period of expulsion for a review of attendance, credits, and/or grades, behavior, and recommended counseling. All students are referred to Valley Community School. Motion by Smith, seconded by Castro. 6 yeses, no nos, no abstentions, 1 absent. Moran. Item number 2, parental request for early graduation for Crossroads Alternative Education Center student number 5513827 and number 5519958, and San Luis High School student number 5513826. The board approved the early graduation for those students. Motion by Gattuso, seconded by Castro. 6 yeses, no nos, and 1 absent. Moran. Item number 3, a liability claim. A claimant was identity is withheld pursuant to Government Code 54961. Agency claimed against is the Los Banos Unified School District. The board denied that claim. Motion by Castro, seconded by Smith. 6 yeses, no nos, and 1 absent, which was Dr. Moran. That was all the action taken in closed session. With that, on to the next item, which is discussion, information, and future agenda items. Anybody have anything?